You need it.
We have a lot of it.
Yeah.
If you can get them to call you back too. that would help.
All right, we're good, Ron.
Okay, sorry, we're talking.
We're recording. Yeah.
It hurt. All right, let's call this meeting to order. 5 o'clock. Any public input?
Nothing was emailed to us at the time.
Anyone from? Right, sir, come on up. You have 2 minutes. State your name, address, please.
Walk to so. Mike Timovic, 1833 Tulip Lane. This is in regards to the lake at Centennial. Number one,
Which lake? Sorry.
the one that everybody fishes in, legal,
No, okay.
or whatever, I don't know what. When are you gonna, are they gonna clean the pond scum out of there? When I talk about pond scum, if you look along the edge where the band shell is,
Okay,
up against that wall, there's green scum that goes out from,
like an algae.
it's pond scum. And it needs to be cleaned.
When did you last notice this?
Yesterday,
I'm thinking-
I noticed it yesterday, I noticed it the day before, and it's just getting worse.
We do have those ponds treated by Aquatic Control. They treat all the retention ponds also in town. I'd have to check the last time that they were out there, but that's one of the things that they're looking for as far as maintaining that.
I mean, if you got somebody out there with a rake, they could scrape that crud up and deposit it somewhere.
Okay, well,
Because over time, it's gonna start to smell.
right. Most definitely.
Okay, second thing. Same lake. Any plans on restocking it at some point in the future? You got an overabundance of bullhead in there. You know, it'd be nice to catfish and, you know, some of the other fish in there.
I believe we restock.
We haven't, since I've been here, I had a quote initially, we had a company out when I first started to do the elevations, to make sure to tell us, what would survive there the best from that particular company. And, at that time, they also told us though, if you stock, you're gonna need to routinely stock, because it will become known as a destination, for fishermen to come out, and even though it's supposed to be catch and release, it isn't very often, so.
Right, because there used to be some real nice catfish in there, and people have been taking them out, we're taking them out. And then my last question is, the electric bikes. Is there a speed limit in the park?
That's a big.
I mean, can they even have electric bikes in the park?
There's a state law that covers the electric bikes, between class 1s, 2, and 3. Class 1 and 2s are allowed, class 3s are not. Based upon that would supersede anything that we have at the local level. We put up signage within the parks, on that signage on the trails to encourage shared use of everything, because you obviously have a lot of that shared use. But that's something, is a difficult one to honestly to police. I mean, that.
Yeah, because like I said, I mean, we were out there a couple of days ago and this younger gentleman goes zipping by on his electric bike, and all I hear is, I don't know how to stop it. Which scares the crap out of me. So
Some
maybe you
parks,
need to put speed bumps in.
some trails have signs that say no motorized vehicles. Sure.
Yeah. But I mean, he was, you know,
We have language in
right in there,
trails,
so.
things like that. We have some
Within
language
the
in
park.
there, motorized cover like that.
Thank you. We'll look into all this.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, next up is administrative matters, approval of park board minutes. Everybody get a chance to look at it. Anyone want to make an emotion?
I will make that motion to approve the minutes. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next up is the vouchers. Did everybody have a chance to look at it? Or have any questions?
I did, no questions, so I will motion to approve.
Oh, wait, I did have one more question myself. The voucher 23 seven B. The 80,000 for Centennial,
Operations.
yeah.
That's
I
our
thought we only
normal.
did that in the winter.
We haven't, it could be at any time of the year. This is our first one this year.
Okay.
So we normally are, we've been, since the banquet hall has closed, we're probably around 200 grand a year. So this is the first one. of
Supporting it.
any-
Yeah.
For that support.
It's
It
free
doesn't
up.
matter when it is,
Yeah.
they have a negative for that, yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
So that's, but this was the first.
It was just, yeah,
2000.
first time I actually saw it during this time of year.
Yeah, but you're right. You're usually, a lot of times they're usually in the, early in the calendar year or late in the year
Yeah.
when golf has been down.
Yeah,
They got enough through the spring, but yeah, this is when the need came up.
and we probably will be seeing that in the
I would
future.
expect
with
to have another one
construction.
this fall, just because of, you'll see with golf numbers and so forth, hurting, being down. And of course, the lack of banquets, which was
Right.
kind of a big help there.
Any other questions?
I have a motion to approve vouchers 23-7, A, B, and C.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Up next is report, July board report.
We've submitted a report with highlights from all areas of the department, for your information. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any.
The very first item. Centennial Park parking.
Mhm.
Still trying to get golfers. Are you keeping track of this time that is spent doing this so that we can, because this was one of the concerns I think that I had when this was put into place, was the time that was going to be spent in the park office handling this, and we were assured that that would not happen, that this was going to be taken care of by this third party. So have we spoken to, like, what is our, how do we fix this? That's the first question. And the second question is, I just want to get it all out,
That's all right.
and work on it. And then, the second question is, I still run into people who still don't know that their registration, and as you, I'm sure a number of these complaints are, their registrations are just for that year. Did this company, or does this company have the ability to send a reminder or to somebody at the beginning of the next cycle to re-register there? No one got that. I find it hard to believe. I get registrations and emails from every company, every credit card, everything that under the sun that I have. And this company didn't send any kind of reminder to these people that, hey, you should register. You're registered before, maybe you should register again. Like that's my two
Yeah,
questions.
there's a lot of growing pains, without a doubt. I mean, and that's one of them. That was a major one. We ended up, because they didn't do it, took it upon ourselves about a month into the season to send a massive email when we had access to that list finally from them. So they did have the information. They just didn't do that. As far as, further improvements we can make, we're looking as much as we can, because we're not tracking the time, but we can tell you it's every day. I mean,
We take
it's,
care of that more than
Any-
what you are
right.
with customers.
yeah, I mean,
Well, I mean, I just think that this should be addressed to Dustin and the town council, because at this point, I mean, this is their baby, if they want, I don't.
How many of it is it, in your opinion, is it from the people that are like, they have prom and they went to go all park there? Or is it just everything?
Everything, people didn't know it was.
Even though they didn't see the big orange sign that says this is the big
There's no
lot?
signs, I'm gonna go take pictures, there's no signs out there, I'm going there right now.
Big
just to
flashing.
show you.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like, all right.
sometimes you can't.
It's-
I have one email today I can share with you later, but it's not appropriate for a public meeting. But,
Oh,
yeah.
I've been touched, I've been told, you know. what?
So now our angry people have left the pool. It seems like the pool is settled
They're
down,
angry, so they take.
right?
it
Jill?
out.
Or Jill's like. Okay, for relatively speaking, and now they've all shifted to the parking lot?
It's just, we're fighting the battle of, for 20 years, you went to that park and not having it. That's probably the biggest thing that people are not used to, and you're right, the complaint is they're not seeing the signs, they're not reading
And
them.
it's part.
They're not informed, maybe they don't believe it, or they believe that, oh, I'll be able to talk my way out of this, or they believe that Well, nothing ever showed up on my windshield while I was sitting here eating my lunch. So I'm free and clear. It's been a lot of educational, conversations that way. We get those calls and we will spend more time on them now because we're trying to educate and use word of mouth as the best way to get people understanding about this.
Yeah.
Every day, we still have residents who were amazed at that didn't have any idea about this. And we have, there is a reminder in the news you can use every month about it. We had it early in the year, in the springtime. We have things on our website. I mean, we're trying to put out, we're actually looking at additional signage. We put up stickers on every windshield on the golf carts. We put up signs at the pro shop, up at the ball machine on the post.
Right.
And if you're at the golf shop, all you have to do is go to the pro shop and get it validated, right?
Yeah.
Or they
Yeah.
do something.
So there's just, it's, and unfortunately, some people start to take advantage of it. Well, they know me. I don't need to do that again. No, you need to do it. And so, yeah, so we're communicating a lot with the parking folks. It's definitely one that I think we want to, try to find better answers to review it. So to give you a direct answer, Mike, I probably don't have the direct answers.
I'm
give
just
us
saying it might not be a
solutions.
bad idea to start tracking that time, just, in some type of spreadsheet.
8
or
hours a
something.
day.
Yeah.
And I know that would probably take up a lot of time, and I know that's not,
Yeah.
that's the only way that, unless you can measure the time. nothing
Well,
will
people
change.
call and then they call and complain because they're not getting responses. They've got online and they filed their complaint, their dispute. Or the number to call and pay, they don't answer, so they call us to complain about.
People are
That's
wanting,
handled by the third party.
yeah, people are wanting to speak to someone, and the process is for a dispute, and it's right on the back of the ticket, it says, go on this website and submit it. And you can submit it, and it basically opens up like an email box, and you can attach pictures, screenshots, whatever, you can upload and submit it to them. They want to bend somebody's ear.
Is there a better way to hold this third party accountable that we've hired? Because that seems to be. there's
I
another
think
third
that they're
party.
responding. The customers are not liking the response. They're very brash. No, denied, and you need to pay your fee. Sure. Because you didn't see the sign is not a valid excuse, and that's what a lot of people are disputing.
I don't know, you don't see the sign.
Yeah.
That sign is ugly out there.
People Argue. And
I think I would've
argue, and
just-
they'll hang up on you.
I don't think it's a third party. I really don't. I don't think you can fix society in
Yeah.
part of it. Well, think about our bathing suit issue. We'll go to the pool. Bathing suits. Oh, I have a bathing suit. No, just because you have shorts doesn't mean you have a bathing suit.
Same thing.
Well, maybe next year we'll just have to.
We'll start to try to track and maintain, maybe we can put some numbers together on that response.
What
We'll
they've
definitely
done
have to sit
now
down
is
with-
like,
Can't tell from.
they counted 22 times
In a day.
in a day.
You need,
Oh,
probably the Monday after a weekend or whatever, or
Yeah.
whenever the big batch.
Yeah, that's what she was just doing, the hash mark.
Yeah.
Just to see.
Yeah.
But I think we're always gonna get some level of calls without, because we're in that business of listening to people, and we will spend, and unfortunately, that little hash doesn't represent
How
30
much
to 60
time.
minutes that might be on the phone with somebody, because I've spent that with people, trying to explain.
I think I wanna do
everything
it. I think I'm gonna come over and listen.
I
I do, I sort of do.
Take some calls, It'll be
I may be
lovely.
fired.
Yesterday.
Nice.
That is so rude.
Thank you. And you're probably gonna go to church later on that.
Okay.
That's what gets hard at the end of the day. is
Yeah, you've been,
Sure.
Parade.
right. Or
Mark, how long does the car have to be in the park
I
in
think
order
I'm
to
over
be
Thursday.
considered parked? I mean, if you're going to pick up your
The great-
child after an event,
Right, the grace period is 15 minutes, so if you're there after more than 15 minutes, you need to pay the park or be registered.
okay.
I have spoken with somebody who got a ticket for 16 minutes.
well,
That was early in the year, I believe it was disputed, and I think they did grant a lot of one-time, kind of chances here early in the spring. They've backed off of that now. thinking, hey, we did it at the beginning, we've gotten a lot of word out, let people understand, yes, enforcement is now here. So that did help, I think, a little bit, but yeah, you can almost see like when the tickets hit home, because the call down picks up on.
Dumb question, what's a fine? What's the fine?
$45.
$45.
If you don't pay
People complain about that.
45, and a lot of times they ignore it,
Should be 10.
and then it shows up as 85, 15 days later.
Oops.
Yeah, that's,
Yes.
that's real world there.
And we much rather, and we'll tell people, we much rather just have you pay your $2 an hour or $5 for the day. That's a lot cheaper than 45, please, yes, we'd much rather have that, so.
That way the parks can remain.
I would just be
beautiful.
curious if the revenue brought in by that is worth the time that you're spending on that. Or if you,
It's your end of,
if you're
End of
taking,
month
you know, the revenue spent, the revenue earned on that parking, is that breaking even with your time spent managing these complaints?
I just got
It doesn't
a
count,
report from the month of June today. I think, I want to say it was 37,000 was our share from the month of June.
How much?
37,000.
He was like, we need to get a paper.
So,
Or you guys do. Okay. I really think it's society. I don't know if it's the third party. I mean, you can only show them so many times that it's paid parking.
Well, in a follow-up to that too, is even unfortunately with residents. At what point you know, poor Mark, he comes in there and they're like, I got a ticket, I'm not paying, you know, I'm a resident, you know. And he's got, you know, on the phone, at what point do you cut that off too? It's
Right.
like, you didn't register your vehicle, it's been 2 years now.
yes,
This guy came in 2 years, and said, I had no idea about this. And it's like, do you have your phone? Or, you know, no idea. And then it has a slew of tickets. So when do you start with residents too? Stop those phone calls and have them come in. And then you gotta get the ticket voided or marked up.
yeah.
those are definitely decreased though, but the majority
Yeah.
of calls are people from outside of town though. I mean, the resident ones are there, those are easy to solve. It's ones who are just upset, I'm never coming back to your park again.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
I'm coming in Thursday. I want to listen to some of these. I'm answering.
Bring your lunch.
I'll bring it.
That last comment about not coming back to the park was one of the reasons that the conversations about paid parking started. Because residents of this town couldn't find any place to park because so many out-of-town people were there and filling the parking lot. And so
Which was not true, though. There was never a case.
I can show you the letters that came.
I've seen the letters that came, Ken. What I'm talking about is the actual evidence of no parking spots that would never happen.
When were you there?
In the month of July before this started, every day,
I would go there fishing and you would have a hard time finding a place to park. And when the majority of the cars were from Illinois.
every day.
Yep.
Robin, I believe we did a whole week together.
Yes, but I
That's neither here
counted
nor there.
cars, yes. And so it's hard to tell if Indiana plate versus.
Regardless of whose plate they were, I'm saying there were always parking spots available. They might not have been the front row parking spots, there might have been down at the end, but there were always parking spots available.
We knew there'd be growing pains, and that's what we're going through right now. I mean, it was late June when we first instituted it last year, so it's been just over a year now. Some of these are expected. I mean, and it is an educational thing. So, I mean, we're gonna go through, we'll have a conversation, we'll review it further. And I'm sure that more changes and we may come up with some recommendations that we'd like to see potentially considered as we move forward with it.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Wolfskin's pretty.
Yeah, the pool sounds great.
I'm not even looking over there. 2 more weeks? Three
Three more weeks. All right. So we're good with this. Next up is items for discussion and action. The Centennial Golf Building Change Order Authorization.
So at your last board meeting, we approved the award of the Centennial Park Golf Buildings to Hassey Construction Company, and they're expected to start by mobilizing potentially as early as next week, Monday. They were finalizing, pulling their permits and for all their subs. And if that's up and going, that's what they were shooting for. If not, it'll probably be about a week later. So that's, they're gonna jump on this.
Good.
They roughly have told me they're thinking about 10 months. So that was pretty good news. We were worried about that with some of the lead time, so. But with many construction projects, especially, things like buildings and excavating things underneath ground there's an unknown, and anticipating that there are gonna be issues that will arise during construction. We're seeking, I will definitely be the owner's representative, if you will, as you collectively, the board or the owner, who's here once a month. They're gonna be out there working every day. While we'll do our best to avoid change orders, there's likely to be times where it's gonna be necessary, and we would like to have the ability through day-to-day operations to give authorization, so we don't have to stop construction and say, wait, let's bring that issue to a board meeting. Get it direction before they can continue on any type of construction. Through our normal purchasing policy, department heads have an ability to go up to $20,000, and town manager has up to 50. With this being a contract that's at the park board level, I talked to the clerk treasurer's office, and they thought there was some symmetry there with bringing this request to you to see if we can have that ability to make on this particular job or this project, to allow me to have that ability to go to 50,000 if it's something that is necessary. We don't want to obviously just stop construction and wait potentially almost 4 to 5 weeks for the next park board meeting to get the answer on things. Hopefully nothing major will come up, but we want to be prepared. If something does, my thought is if something did come up, we shoot an email out, let everybody be aware of it. And obviously it would still have to come to your next park board meeting for formal ratification, because it would be a change to the official contract. But so that's what we're ultimately seeking here. So it'd be a motion for consideration to approve the director to authorize individual change orders to the Centennial Park Golf Buildings Project contract not to exceed $50,000, based on reporting those changes to the park board once that decision is made. And then it would go to your next meeting for confirmation.
Any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the recommendation.
Any seconds?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, next up is the Parks and Rec intern presentation.
Our intern Emily is here. She's gonna come up, and I'm gonna pull up her document on the website here for those screens.
It's okay.
You may hit the lights or no, we're good.
No, it's not a movie. It's okay.
Opening a little nap.
Hey, hello, I'm Emily. This is my 9th week out of 10 being an intern, so I'm almost done. But yeah, this is everything I've done so far. So starting with.
Hey, Emily, let me interrupt. Just tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, that stuff.
So I'm from Munster, live in Bragg Creek. I go to Indiana University. I'm going to be a junior studying sports marketing and management. So starting with the events and camps that I've helped with bingo, youth sports camps, the Civic Monday concert series, the Sunday concert series, Culture Fest, summer camps, movie in the park, Kids Fest, the car show, the fireworks, and then the pool. Starting off with the pool, I've helped enforce rules on the pool deck when kids are running and have to say walk. Help campers, I pick up campers from swim lessons and bring them to the summer camps. I act as a manager when they're short staffed. I'm always fixing the bulletin boards, updating and making them look pretty. And then I help exchange bills for admissions. Moving on to bingo, I help make announcements. I help clean up and set up. I hand out the food to the teenagers, and then I also help call bingo when the ladies need a break. Moving on to youth sports camps, I make the itineraries for our baseball, soccer, and basketball camps that we have. I hired all the instructors. I dealt with calling off the camps when we have bad weather. Took a lot of photos. I made schedules for the instructors on what they need to teach the younger kids. And then I picked up the equipment for the garage to make sure the instructors have those equipment. And I also made calendars for the camps. For the Civic Monday concerts and the movie in the parks, they're all kind of the same. I make announcements, I pass out flyers, talk to the community about upcoming events at the park. Answer questions if people have questions. I help validate parking for the vendors. And I help set up and direct the vendors where to go. Moving on to Kids Fest, this was one of the events that I had control over. I contacted the business and arts and crafts vendors to see if they were interested. I reached out to vendors when we had the June cancellation because of the bad weather. I helped acquire volunteers, answered any questions. And then I also helped validate parking and help direct where the vendors need to go, and then ran the whole event. For Culture Fest, I was mainly the MC for the event, so I introduced the performers. I made sure they knew when to go, what order, make sure they had the music, and then I talked to the vendors to see if there was any new vendors to look for next events. Summer camp, I helped put the camp kids into pods. I was a counselor when needed. I sometimes brought food on Fridays. I watched all 100 kids at one point by myself. Wow, very scary. Went to the field trips on Wednesdays for an extra set of eyes. I played games and colored with the campers, and then picked up and delivered papers whenever Jill asked me to. For pint-sized camps, I helped make itineraries for the core camps that were being ran, and then I shopped for the camps. And then what I still have left, we have Nerf Wars tomorrow. I have my last Civic Monday concert on Monday. I have Touch a Truck this Friday, and then the last movie in the park for me, which is tonight. And that's all. Thanks.
Great job.
Thank you.
Hard job, congrats and good luck.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, next is the Centennial Park Golf Mid-Year Report.
Good, good.
Sorry about that.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, guys. Good. I'm here to talk about the halfway point for Cincinnati Park Golf Course. Right now, golf revenue is slightly down from 2022. Early season concern came from the pay the park situation, word of mouth from everybody that's been saying about it. We've been doing a little bit better about trying to get the word out there that, you know, you don't have to pay the park. We just got to validate. More signs we put out. We got signs on the golf carts. Golf Now has even put out like a little warning sign. Make sure you guys validate for you guys. Ongoing effort to educate our customers based on golfers do not have to pay the park, but they must register. Despite these issues, golf grounds are higher from the memberships in 2023 than they were in 2022. And the golf revenue is only down 10% from 2022, despite our reduction of public grounds. Our golf memberships has slightly slipped from 2023 compared to 2022. Membership sales are down 38% right now from 2022. That's just because we got women that don't like using porta potty still. Mainly my Monday ladies league, we had 50 golfers. We're now down to 22. Our Wednesday league, we had, I believe, about 32. We're only down to about 12.
Oh, wow.
So that's a big gap that dropped down right there. On the bright side though, our concession revenue has been up 3% so far. Despite all the issues we had, like some of our cooking devices broke down, popcorn machine, the shaved ice. We also have hired 35 Monster resident kids to work for us this year. That's a bright side for us. The range revenue has went down a little bit as well, down 21%. That was earlier in the year, people was getting those tickets, like, I think the first batch was out in April, maybe May. After seeing that, we did see a dramatic drop in, range revenue. Also, we had a range machine that went down for about 2 to 3 weeks. So we had issues there as well.
Oh, is that machine?
I believe the old machine was,
We actually just bought a new one. We had that on our bond issue list. We were trying to string it along. We were hoping not to buy it until construction was
Right.
done with all the dirt and everything else, but we had to make, just, go ahead and make the purchase and have it out there. So it's there now and available for everybody.
other than that, our dogs are doing well. We kind of been reading our numbers that we've been trying to reach every month. Other than that, we're kind of rolling right now. This season's here. We got about another 3-4 months of solid golf. Other than that, do you guys have any questions for me?
I like your optimism about 4 more months of golf.
I'm ready for snow. You know,
I'm not. No.
Well, Dan, I mean, we've all experienced the water issue or lack of water issue. Dan, the golf course superintendent will tell you, I mean, we just had in the first 13 days of July as much rain as we had in the like previous 3 months.
Yeah.
So it was one of those like, wow, completely just, turned on the faucet versus not having one available and the
Right.
challenges that go through with maintaining the course from that perspective of it, so. For sure.
Any other questions, guys?
I don't have any. No, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very much. Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
No, can come in December.
Yeah, well, I would prefer never. Okay, so up next is the Parks Recreation Master Plan Professional Services.
So after direction from the board earlier this year, we saw proposals for a 5-year comprehensive Parks and Recreation Master Plan. 5 proposals were submitted. We had a review with a internal staff town employee team that graded them out, and I have that table there on how we ranked them. From these scores, we identified HWC Engineering as the preferred consultant to complete the plan. I have left you guys all packs on your counter today of the hard copies that were submitted from all 5 of the firms for you to peruse. And at the next meeting in August, we'll ask for you to approve, select the identified consultant and allow me to negotiate and define the exact scope with the particular consultant. The proposals, I think, hopefully will give you some ideas as to amounts of how many meetings we want and what are the defined scope project, what do we exactly want? Public input gathering methods, surveying and showing up at public meeting, at public events potentially to collect information. Whether or not we want site master plans for each particular park location, or maybe we kind of highlight certain, maybe the hotter ones, the bigger ones potentially. So we can define all of that. So if you get a chance in the next month, so no actions required tonight. I just wanted to share that with you, kind of give you an update of where we're at. And obviously in the next month, we'll bring with a recommendation again and hopefully we can award that and allow us to have a better with what we want to have included in that scope for what we seek to negotiate with each firm.
We got some studying to do.
I do think that, while obviously you have the authority to select someone different than we're recommending, keep that in mind. I do think that and you're more than welcome to do that. I think a lot of them would be fine for us to do this job. Honestly, I think all 5 of them potentially could do it. I do think the 3 highest ranked ones are the best collectively, though, that we have the opportunity to select.
And all these people have done this type of work.
They've all done it, all throughout the area.
I'm
And
assuming that's what we'll read in there.
yeah, you're gonna find it. It's just a matter of, they're gonna put in their favorite projects, the ones that they have the best pictures from, and that's gonna show up in there. A lot of them took pictures of our own sites when they came up and visited the town and showcased that. So, yeah, some neat stuff that's in there, but.
All right. Cool.
Next is A motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Anybody want to second it?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Thank you.